Day one action from the National MMA Championships. Some of these people right here are going to be representing Canada at the upcoming World Championships in Las Vegas. We start off with our first of 7 matches today. You see Brittany Allen from United Fighter making her way into the cage. Her opponent, Tanya Najjar from Toshido, did not show up, however.
You advanced, Brittany. Good for you.
Okay, it's official, right?
It's official.
I'm sure not the way that she wanted to win, but she'll take it and move on to the finals. Our next fight sees Richie Hall from the Canadian Martial Arts Center taking on Matt Curtez from 5 Star Fighting, and these two would have a good match back and forth. Nice touch of gloves to start us off. Curtez using the left hand jab after a takedown. A big right hand from Curtez. He ends up getting top control with just short time remaining in round 1. Lands some big punches, but Mark Aparicio stepping in to end the first round. He'll have to wait a few more minutes to get back in the cage here. And you see Richie Hall getting some advice from Lee Meehan. And it looks like Richie Hall takes the advice after eating a little left hand. Richie Hall gets off a nice combination against Matt Curtez. Curtez responds with a right hand, and then he gets to work. There's a big liver kick there, and a takedown by Curtez, and then he'll land the big knee. That's the beginning of the end. A few more punches. Mark Aparicio steps in to stop the action. A big win for Matt Curtez. He moves on in the tournament.
Matt Curtez.
So match 3 sees Forrest Cable of Queen City Martial Arts taking on Shane Melnick from Cardinal MMA, and Melnick landing an early kick. Some nice combinations from Forrest Cable. He lands a nice big knee, but that one lands to the head, which is illegal under the rules of amateurs, so he's given 5 minutes to recover. Jordan Meehan, the official today, checking on him. When they get back to the action, it's a big apology from Forrest Cable, and a nice kick from Shane Melnick. This time it's Forrest Cable stopping the takedown, landing a few punches for good measure. Trying to pull guard is Shane Melnick, but Forrest Cable showing some strength there, able to stop pulling guard by Shane Melnick, and then some forward pressure. He lands some big punches after getting the back, including these punches here, and this one which lands right underneath the leg, right to the face of Shane Melnick. Forrest Cable landing some punishment throughout round 1. When they had a chance to break, you see Brad Cardinal in the corner working with Shane Melnick, trying to find a way to get back in. This time a big crank from Forrest Cable. He lands a big shot to the head of Shane Melnick, and that would be most of the story of this fight. You see top position. Here's a triangle attempt from Shane Melnick, but Forrest Cable able to get away, get to side control, and land a few punches for bear. Near the end of the round, it's a submission attempt coming from Forrest Cable, but as he puts the pressure down, he sees Melnick's not going to give it up, so he's going to start landing some big strikes at the end of round 2, and round 2 definitely going to Forrest Cable of Queen City Martial Arts. Again, some advice from Brad Cardinal of Cardinal MMA to Shane Melnick. It's Sean Quinn in the corner of Forrest Cable as they get set for round 3, and again a touch of the gloves. A lot of respect shown in this competition throughout, and you see some dancing. A nice left hand being thrown. Another takedown attempt by Shane Melnick, stuffed by Forrest Cable, and he lands some big punches. Referee Jordan Meehan right on top of the action. After 3 or 4 more punches in this mount position, Meehan had seen enough. A big win for the Queen City martial artist.
Corner, Forrest Cable.
So our 4th match sees Chris Gaudet from the Hayabusa Training Center taking on Kalen Monkman, who's fighting independently. These two were scrappy early on, a nice touch of gloves, a big kick from Monkman followed by a left hand from Monkman. Monkman up against the cage. Gaudet trying to free himself, but Monkman doing a great job. A nice double overthrow, able to get the takedown. Some more punches being landed from Monkman. Another takedown from Monkman, a big throw. He ended up getting the back of Chris Gaudet. Gaudet able to fight off the rear naked choke, get into this guard position, but not able to do anything from it. As they start off the second round, another punch. Gaudet trying to take away the striking of Monkman, but Monkman able to sprawl back each time. This time landing a standing guillotine. A lot of pressure being put down. Now Monkman commits to the choke, able to secure it. A lot of pressure being put down, and the big tap there from Gaudet.
In the red corner, Kalen Monkman.
So match 5 sees Stephen Eldridge of Chatham Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu taking on John Nguyen from Dynamic Mixed Martial Arts. Has been on a tear since his only loss on his MMA career. And again, they started off no touch of the gloves. John Nguyen showing some quickness, but it was Stephen Eldridge who was constantly moving forward, putting pressure on John Nguyen, landing some big punches. John Nguyen more resigned to counter punching, as you see right there, a nice counter punch from Nguyen, a nice kick back from Stephen Eldridge. So showing off the striking, not only a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter. Again, these guys went back and forth with the striking in round 1, probably the best round of action, and there was a nice spinning back fist and then a spinning roundhouse kick to the gut by John Nguyen, showing off the quickness. Again, it was more quickness versus technique, and you see a nice combination from Stephen Eldridge not giving in to the pressure that John Nguyen puts on from the countering. There's a good counter punch followed by a big kick from Stephen Eldridge. These guys were putting on a show, a nice combination, including a left hand liver shot that John Nguyen likes to work. And again, that is the end of round 1. Getting some advice from his coaches is John Nguyen. The same goes for Stephen Eldridge, as these two fighters put on a show in round 1, so we can expect the same in round 2 as the both fighters get ready to step in. These two guys, again, throughout the fight, were going all out, throwing great punches and combinations, but it was Nguyen's quickness and able to counter and slip the punches that landed the big difference in this second round. And you see as Nguyen eats a big uppercut from Stephen Eldridge, so Eldridge was in there, but this is the end of the fight. A big right hand that rubber-legged Stephen Eldridge. Mark Aparicio, protecting the amateur fighter, steps in. John Nguyen secures the victory, and talking to Stephen Eldridge after the fight, he thought it was a great stoppage.
John Nguyen.
So match 6 sees Oliver Nadeau from Quebec taking on Peter Taloma from Queen City Mixed Martial Arts, and this was a great fight from beginning to end, back and forth. They touch gloves, and you can see the athleticism of both of these guys as they trade punches back and forth, and you can see the power of smaller Oliver Nadeau as he comes in and just throws Peter Taloma up against the cage. A good combination from Nadeau, landing some punches, attempting a takedown, but nothing comes of it. A nice spinning heel kick from Oliver Nadeau, followed by a Superman punch and then a takedown from Peter Taloma, but popping right back up was Oliver Nadeau. He secures himself a guillotine, and he will hold on to this position for about a minute and a half. Credit Peter Taloma for being able to hold tough, but they end the round in the guillotine position. A lot of energy expended by Oliver Nadeau as they come into round 2. These two fighters, again, back and forth, landing some big punches. A Superman punch back from Peter Taloma, a nice counter, and there's a great takedown from Peter Taloma, Queen City Mixed Martial Arts, and a takedown right back from Oliver Nadeau. These guys, again, were back and forth throughout the entire fight. It was a very close fight. It looked to me that both of these fighters were coming out all out, and Oliver Nadeau seemed to be getting the better of it through rounds 1 and round 2. A good back position. He's landing some punches is Oliver Nadeau of Quebec, and just like they ended the first round, they're going to end the second round in a guillotine position, although this one not as dangerous for Peter Taloma. And again, you can see these fighters coming out still fresh, and again, this is a tournament, so they're going to have to fight more matches throughout. A nice takedown from Peter Taloma from Queen City Mixed Martial Arts. He gets top position and starts laying down some punches on Oliver Nadeau, knowing he's got to make some ground up on the scorecards. They work in another takedown attempt by Oliver Nadeau. This time the back of Taloma does Oliver Nadeau have, and he works in a rear naked choke. It is very tight around, but again, because there are no neck cranks, it has to be a rear naked choke, so you can't crank around the neck, and Peter Taloma able to come out, land again a takedown attempt, attempting to take down Oliver Nadeau. Nadeau showing his quickness. Some short time at the end of round 3, top position for Peter Taloma, but Oliver Nadeau able to hold on, and they go to the decision, and this one was controversial.
Blue corner. Taloma.
The win for Peter Taloma. More on that later. Our final fight, Colton Cronkite from the Canadian Martial Arts Center taking on Blazin Chiquita of Team Chiquita, and a touch of gloves at the start, and a big right hand from Blazin Chiquita has Colton Cronkite coming forward blindly. A kick now, Chiquita able to get out of the way. A takedown by Colton Cronkite. A guillotine attempt by Blazin' Chiquita, but able to slip out is Cronkite. He ends up getting top position here, landing a few punches to the head of Blazin' Chiquita and then securing a top position, a nice high mount from Colton Cronkite. He tries to land some punches as he will start to transition off to side control. Blazin' Chiquita able to come out and gets himself into a guillotine, and this is a lot of pressure being put on by Colton Cronkite. They were in this position for about 30 seconds, and you could see right there the amount of pressure being put on by Cronkite. Nothing was working for him. He wasn't able to get that tap out, so he able to shuck his opponent Chiquita down to the mat, and Chiquita tries to work that into a takedown of his own. Cronkite able to defend, takes the back of Blazin' Chiquita and works in the rear naked choke. A lot of pressure being put on by Colton Cronkite. He's able to get it underneath, secure himself a victory.
First round, and in the red corner, Colton Cronkite.
So I said there was controversy earlier between Oliver Nadeau and Pita Tuloma. It turns out that there was an incorrect scorecard. They judged it the other way, so your winner is Oliver Nadeau, so they did correct it after finding the mistake. For Oliver Nadeau, able to get the pictures that he wanted to get in the cage, and for Pita Tuloma, just has to head to the locker room and shake off this loss. It was a great day of action in Lethbridge. You can find out more highlights tomorrow.